are actually children of one God. So the God, infinite love. So we all children of that kind of Father. So we must pay more attention about warm-heartedness. So my whole life I committed to promote warm-heartedness. And then for that, all major religious traditions have great potential to promote warm-heartedness. So religious harmony, very essential. So now, so some question.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Holiness. That is a perfect opening to our dialogue. Maybe Jumper can help if you need. That is a perfect introduction to our theme today, which is unified consciousness, one in mind and heart. You said that in modern education, there is a lot of emphasis on the head, on intellect, but very little on the heart. And I agree with you that we need to bring the heart dimension more alive and more present in our world. And for this reason, we have chosen the theme of unified consciousness for our community worldwide, world community for Christian meditation, for the coming year. Last year, we chose the theme of health for obvious reasons. And next year, in the coming year, we are going to reflect around the world in our different national communities on unified consciousness. And I would really like you to open this year of reflection for us and to share with us what you feel is the meaning of unified consciousness, being one in mind and heart. I think unified consciousness means what you have just been saying, the transformation of the human into a loving person, not arguing about our differences, but seeing that we come from the same source and we are capable of the same transformation, and that we can go beyond the illusion of separation, of conflict and competition. And your teaching, your life has been a witness to this potential of the human to achieve this unified consciousness where the mind and the heart become one. So I would invite you now to share with us what you understand by that phrase, in terms, of course, of Buddhist wisdom, but also of your own experience as a man of peace, as a monk who has given his life to the healing of division. Can you share with us and encourage us as we begin this time of reflection on this transformation of the human? How do you see unified consciousness? Is it possible for us as a human race to be more one in mind and heart?
Subject to message.
I think very possible. Now, through education, not through religious ceremony, but through education. Education, something universal. So, up to now, in our education, modern education, pay only our brain, not warm-heartedness. Now today, we really need more effort to educate people in order to gain even physical health. More warm-heartedness here, automatically mental peace come. Here in heart, too much sense of competition. That automatically brings some frustration, some anger also. So, more compassionate mind is the key factor for development of peace of mind. Peace of mind, very necessary. As I mentioned earlier, the previous century, Mahatma Gandhi significant sort of was a contribution. Now today's century, I think India should contribute for karuna, warm-heartedness. So eventually, I think the whole world pay more attention about warm-heartedness, not through church or temple, but through education. So I think India should be leading nation in education, for more emphasis about warm-heartedness, for peace of mind, for good health. So obviously, I always, when we meet anybody, I always smile. So people love that. If Dalai Lama's face like that, and then I think people may not sort of appreciate a smiling face. People love, even animal, dogs, when you show affection, dogs, their tail go like that. If you face some negative face, dogs, their tail go down like that. So therefore, now time come, we must make every effort to promote warm-heartedness. In this respect, all the religion, the special rule and the special responsibility. So that I want to share with you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Holiness. I think your smile has lit up the world for many years. Your smile has had a big jumper, maybe you can help. Your smile has helped to transform the world and make it a better place. Jumper.
那根据节目的写呢，就这不能拿落了呀，看他就专门把我那些个，把我那些穷松散了，忙不起来拍了。
Oh, right.
Maybe we should ask the leaders of the world to come together, and before they start speaking, they should just take your example and smile at each other for 5 minutes. Jumbo,
We can't blame the leaders or the present sort of leaders. They also come from such education. Just is a sense of competition and sense of big name like that. So all these, I think, went wrong. Our education, modern education field should include warm-heartedness as a sort of religious matter, but for physical health and peaceful community. Finally, peaceful world. So now today, many people really talking entire 7 billion human beings. We are same human brothers, sisters. So now we have already that kind of as a concept. Now important is in education, we should include the secular way about warm-heartedness. Then I think generation who come from that kind of education, then certainly may also the deeper understanding about warm-heartedness.
we are teaching meditation to children in many parts of the world. And when I meditate with children, I think this gives great hope, because children have this capacity to unite their mind and their heart in the practice of meditation. Would you agree? Would you recognize the importance of teaching meditation as well to children?
Children loves smiling face, warm-heartedness. In class, for example, teacher showing smile and show genuine sense of concern of well-being of student, then the student very happy come to class. If the class teacher never show the smiling, more sort of a serious face, then the student prefer as soon as finish the class, go. So even a student, you see, knows the teacher really showing a sense of their well-being and a genuine, deeper sense of brotherhood, sisterhood. And one Christian believe all are children of one God. So education, now the warm-heartedness as the religious, should not consider as a religious faith. It is something good for human health. So then, in the case to promote warm-heartedness, then all different religious traditions which emphasize warm-heartedness then can involve. But basically, education simply for the development of brain, and meantime, automatically we can tell good brain, peace of mind is much better. Good brain, full of anger, no use. Very, very, very simple. So, in education field, now, without touching religious faith, simply in order to gain peace of mind for better study, like that. So our education field, without touching any religion, secular as a basis, in this country, secular. So without touching religion, simply warm-heartedness. Now here, all major religious traditions have some special responsibility. And a different philosophy is within, now for example, within Buddhism, there are different schools of thought. Chiramawa, Dodeba, Semzamba, Umawa. So you see different philosophical view, all carry same message of love, compassion. So similarly, a different religious faith, including non-believer, we are part of humanity. We have to live together on this planet. So we need a sense of oneness and human brothers, sisters, like that. Okay.
Thank you. Your Holiness, I have a question. Your emphasis, you say it is important that we communicate this wisdom of the good heart to people, even if they have no religion or beyond religion. What do you feel? What do you imagine is the future of religion in the world to come? For example, do you see changes in Buddhism or in Christianity, in Islam, in the different religions? Will we have different kind of religion in the world?
I feel education is something universal. Religion is a personal matter. So like education, something universal. Education is private business, religious faith. The important is the private business religion should use for further promotion of compassion. Otherwise, religion is personal matter.
Do you think that religious leaders share your view today? How do religious leaders in different religions, how do they need to change? Maybe Jumpo could translate that for us.
Now, occasionally, I think now, comparatively, now, quite often, religious leaders together and talk, unlike past time. Now, today, meeting different religious leaders, and particularly religious scholars. Now, in the name of education, now it is quite often, you see, different scholars of different religion. There's some discussions. I think that's very good sign. Now, previously, we make sort of distinction, religious faith and education. Now, this as I already mentioned, in order to promote warm-heartedness, now various different religious traditions. Now we should emphasize for better health, for happy world, for peaceful world. We need warm-heartedness. For that, various different religious traditions have some special significance to help. So I myself, a Buddhist monk, but I never try to promote Buddhism. I always think from Buddhism how much we can contribute for peace of mind. I never sort of thinking how to propagate Buddhism. I never. So you Christian also, I think, more narrow-minded Christian just propagate your own religion, but more wiser, how much we can contribute. Basically, human being as a secular way of thinking, like that. Okay.
Thank you. That's very very hopeful and very wise insight, I think, into the motivation of religious people. That is not to increase their own numbers or their own buildings, but really to make a contribution to the deeper health and peace of the world. You spoke many times in our different dialogues over the years. Excuse me. You spoke of the importance of a spiritual practice that will bring the intellect and the heart into harmony. And you spoke also of, in the spiritual practice, we come to a state of single-pointedness. John Main calls it simplicity, single-pointedness, where the mind and the heart meet in a single point. And you say that this is the state of compassion. And our mind then is transformed in that experience. The mind is generated in the form of compassion, so that we begin to speak and act in order to communicate, to transmit the compassion that is forming in us. I wonder if you could tell us more about this process of how the mind and the heart come to this single-pointedness of transformation.
So the Ningji Lojang and the German or Johnny and the Lunga Jobachama Ningji Gunelane are ranching to the young to edge Kanagatus and the Lojang Belgane and the Kanta Namshi Chilia, the Zurjek Kanta ticketing, German or change. And so Lunga Yisumki, Guno da Jobachama and the Ningji she want to create. But the do in the Kanta chick, so Loda Ningji need soon to develop. And the Lord Jambe go and you which can do something that's she says she not us.
So for education, calm mind, very important. Too much anger, too much also the jealousy, things, more destructive emotion, very bad for study. So for study, as I already mentioned, peace of mind, very important. Whether religion is personal matter. As a human student, human brothers, sisters, we all need warm-heartedness. So religion is personal matter. Warm-heartedness is a universal matter. So now, as I mentioned earlier, in India, I am going to thinking after this illness or this disappear, I have opportunity to visit Delhi. Then I want to meet some professors of Jawaharlal or Nehru University and so on. So discuss how to develop secular way in education field, education about warm-heartedness in the name of better health. I think as a long-time friend, so like ladies who spend a lot of things without a smile, we don't like. So with smile, we really love each other. So the smile is the sign of warm-heartedness. And that physically also, you see, you get more healthy mind, calm mind. That very help in improving your sleep. When I go to sleep, more compassionate mind, more anger, more anxiety, then sometimes, nowadays, never. But when I was young, sometimes fear or anger is a very disturbed sound sleep. So these are common sense. Not talking about next life, about God, about Buddha. Simply how to be more happy person with calm mind. So that's my sort of way of emphasis, way of thinking. And you, my spiritual brother, and we have common responsibility to promote warm-heartedness through education. Whether religious believer or non-believer, it is personal matter. As a human brothers, sisters, we all need warm-heartedness. Okay.
Thank you. Your Holiness, we first met in Montreal in 1980. So what's that? 40 years ago. And it has been a great blessing in my life to have developed our friendship and to have worked with you on many occasions to promote what you have described. the universal mind and compassion. And you have simplified your teaching over the years. And I wonder whether you could, as I look at you and as I look at myself in the picture here, I see we have not changed physically at all in 40 years. That Jimpa here, he has looked, he is a little more gray, but seriously, what for you has been the fruit of your life, and what can you share with people? Everybody is getting older, even the young are getting older. What is the fruit of aging? It seems to me that you show that fruit in a beautiful way. Jimpa, could you?
And the Quran shared the Kudu Tomaje and the Lord Shijulas Strodos, Yamat and the Montreal, John Main Kitikate, JJ and Kandata Kudu Ge Konaya, De Pegor, and Krancha Shaveneta, Royats Legdos, the Kudungi, and Yam Kugege, Yam Yongotone, the Konoya De on Dugala, the Konon Deve, Yam Getone. tumjeda ani kebenda parent mosna ditus ngai kanaya karayo nasta misama gedu yoros
가서 세부시마소
공로 제발 때니 지금 그래서 로지 공로 제발 때니 지 로지에도 가리 총나요나서 해야지 그래서 냠뇽 돈에 공로야 대용디 공로야 대용 거를 여름시에 공로 그라야 거는 대참 공로 대용 거를 이내 공로 제발 때니 안치스 로지에도 냠뇽 단지 돈에 지 믹스해도시 좀제 디다고 싶다서 소해도시 거리나서
공로 대부 차베 팽여로 스레샤 조 팽여로 연대로 가려나서 냠뇽도 나가나
have a joke. Oh, you see, you had less and less hair, more was a light here. So that indicates more wisdom. So now we really need effort through education, warm-heartedness. And in India, as I already mentioned, there is real potential. So we have to promote warm-heartedness, and through all different religious traditions, all religious main message is warm-heartedness, loving God. So, very nice. Okay.
Thank you. Your Holiness, our community is many different parts of the world are here with us today in this session. And we have 3 members of our community, each of whom would like to ask you a question. And the first person I would like to introduce to you is Sarah Batchelard from Canberra in Australia. Sarah is an Anglican priest and a theologian. She gave us the John Main seminar some years ago about contemplative Christianity. And I would like to ask her now to put her question to you. Sarah, could you?
Thank you, Father Laurence. Your Holiness, how do you see meditation leading to social transformation? Is it a matter of one person, the heart of one person being changed at a time? Or do you sense there is some collective or corporate effect on global consciousness?
Actually, the 5 senses of organs, then we call sixth mind. So education mainly related with sixth mind, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, so on. These only receiving information from physical, sound, smell, like that. So the real sort of also the ability is sixth mind. So we usually is always eye consciousness, ear consciousness. So in school, I think for a student, a short moment, close eye, and then think about sixth mind, some kind of meditation. That also, you see, helpful to feel, firstly, deeper understanding, sixth mind, and 5 consciousness, like that, differences. Meditation on sixth mind and compassion, all these wisdom from sixth mind. So worthwhile, student, short while, if feel okay, more comfortable, close eye, and without following the sense of organs, just remind on sixth mind. That kind of simple practice, I think, useful to to get experience, 5 senses of organs, then sixth mind, and then some meditation. You really get some experience about sixth mind.
I think His Holiness is making the point that most of the time we tend to live at the level of the senses. So if we are going to do any cultivation of the mind, it has to happen at the mental level, not at the sensory level. So if we are able to teach children some skills to somehow quieten their attraction to the senses, and find a way to settle in and settle down and quieten the mind, that in itself will give them an important skill to be able to, ground themselves. And that kind of simple meditation can be quite helpful.
Yes.
고요코 망부시고 저러봐. 다 고요코 저 토리아 디 우주 마녀마 다 망부지고 토라 다 등산 탑조 체다 체시버래. 저 토리아 내가 체리아. 다 메소 게르게 토네 곰잡제. 아니 수수 게르게를 토네 셈상도 치니. 디 토로 슈긴 고론 슈긴 대기요래. 다야 메차마게 셈상보다 셴벤 상보다제. 아니 디 토네 지움 그 토네. 누슈테야 요나스. 근데 쉬어 드리셔.
오케이.
Your Holiness, maybe I could just add to Sarah's question, a simple question. What is the difference between meditating alone and meditating with other people? When we meditate, when we meditate alone, when we meditate together with many people? Do you feel there is a difference?
I think as at the beginning, I think you yourself alone meditate. Then eventually some deeper experience, then with other people together. Since you already gained some experience, so the other people may not get attraction. Once you have some experience, otherwise, without personal deeper experience, then you say, suppose you are sort of meditating, but meantime, look this side, what this person thinking, what this person thinking. So first, in order to gain some experience, I think better alone, at least 10 minutes, 30 minutes, then gradually 1 hour, 2 hours. Once you gain some experience, and together with other people, together meditate. That also some benefit. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Your Holiness, I would like to introduce you to another member of our community, Nick Scrementi, who is studying at Harvard University. He's studying theology. And he has a question for you about the environment. Nick?
Thank you, Father Laurence. Your Holiness, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. Our world seems to grow more divided as the planet warms. My question for you is, what spiritual and religious resources can we draw on to address the climate crisis?
Actually, in ancient time, different nation, different community, with more emphasis and concern for them. Now today, time come, we have to think about global level. With 7 billion human beings are same. So global level, automatically we have to think about global warming. So for example, we Tibet, all major rivers come from Tibet, which cover India, China, and Pakistan. So now we have to think about climate condition of Tibet. So now time come, we have to think about global warming. It's quite serious. Now some scientists already mentioning global warming. Next few decades, it become such level intolerable, warm. So in Tibet, when I was young, those high mountain surrounding Lhasa, during winter, lot of snow. Now within my lifetime, much less. That indicates global warming. So now, time come, we have to think seriously about global warming. Like that. Okay.
And do you think, Your Holiness, do you think that religious tradition can help with solving the problem of global warming? Can religious tradition, religious wisdom help us with the environment?
Yeah. Zambulenga chulu chega jogi labjata de tone kangen di tola mixegi loge toya de yonas leselen ta labjalen yonas.
As I already mentioned, all our strength, warm-heartedness is the source of our inner strength. For that, various different religious traditions have very important role. Okay.
Thank you. Your Holiness, I would now like to introduce you to Angeline Chan from Singapore. Angeline is a member of our WCCM guiding board, and she is an architect, and she is overseeing the renovation of our new center here in France, in Bonvaux. So she is making a great personal contribution to our work and to our future. And she has a question for you about, well, I will let her put the question to you. It's quite short, but very important.
Your Holiness, what would be the most important advice you would give to the next Dalai Lama?
I have no idea. And frankly speaking, no hurry about the 15th Dalai Lama. So, as long as I alive, I try to make contribution for better world, for peaceful world, for healthy environment. The next Dalai Lama, that is not my business. And I think within the next few decades, I think things are changing. Things are changing. I think with the importance of education, I think a public level, more responsibility, not one individual like Dalai Lama or Pension Lama, like that, I feel. Okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Your Holiness. Just before we begin to conclude, I wanted to ask you one more question. In Buddhism and in Christianity, in the contemplative aspect of all religions, there is a understanding of the difference between illusion and reality. And it seems to me that the problems of our world are related to the power of illusion and ignorance. And this is a very dangerous power because it is so strong today. And sometimes reality seems to be almost ignored. And people who teach or represent reality can find it very difficult. Maybe Jimpo can help to express that for me better. But how do we raise the level of reality and truth in a world where illusion has become so dominant? Maybe Jimpo can put that.
I think, yeah, the Quran condition the Nambata issue the Chulu Chega Mambuji Naloya, Tungobe Nezu, Tunani, Borulia, Keva Jego, Ketchibush with Zigiores, and then Tate to Zugi, Zambolina, Chashavena, Chapsi, the Wangu, the Benjo, the Nezu Mambuji, Ganga Mambuji, Tunang Galia, Tony, with those Mongwa, Tunani, Tony, and Mobe Nezu. Tata Toma to Cheche. And it is a Movenesu Kantaji Tunan, the Mombe Rawale Dene, no Movenesulia, Demba Ton to egg, Tablamanta, Miso Samantan down in Kyotan egg, Kokovich, Jonas, Tapship Jonas.
Take ourselves who must castle.
Nang Sui and Net Susan
There is a Tanate Chuluka, Tamena Lolia, Cherry, Analolia, Movenesu, Tunani, but with Kevachi or was Maranzu Tonde among Bajamongata, Tube, Tone, Tombomoto, Tungo Venezu, Dr. Degi or Mares. These are Tinsang to do Zambolina Lolia, Nizu Mambuchi, Tunan, the Mombe Shawan, Son Deva, Chukshibush. These are the Mombata Tunan to get there, Seje, Chitutu, and the Dembotonek, Tablam of Chikarionas, Mutual Samadan at the Degaton.
Chokare. As I already mentioned, now time come, no longer thinking my nation, my area. We have to think about world, climate condition or all, compel, and global economy. It compel, we have to think about world, no longer thinking just my nation, my community. So automatically thinking worldwide on the principle of oneness of entire humanity. So I think education, now younger generation who live such circumstances, I think automatically become more worldwide conscious, thinking whole world. Unlike when we were young, thinking only our own community. Now, that thinking is not reality, not realistic. We have to think whole world. 7 billion human beings. Okay. Then religion is an individual matter, individual business. So we have to think about global economy, global ecology, these things. Okay. According to my own little experience, when we were in Tibet, only think about Tibet. Now come to India as a refugee, and then thinking mainly oneness of 7 billion human beings. And then religious harmony in this country, 1,000 years already religious harmony there. Okay.
As a refugee, you have become a citizen of the world.
Right, that's right. So now, no longer a strong feeling, Tibetan, or rather world. And our prayer always say, Samjan Tamje, all sentient being. But practical level also, we have to think that. So very useful. Okay.
Well, thank you. Your Holiness, as I mentioned, I'm sitting here in Bonnevaux, our international center in France. And when I mentioned this to you a couple of years ago, I was hoping you could come here in person to bless it for us. But what I would like to ask you now is to do that online. And I'm going to ask Giovanni Felicioni, who was with us at the Good Heart Seminar many years ago. I'm going to ask him to invite you to give our blessing, to give your blessing to our center. Giovanni.
Thank you, Laurence. Your Holiness, on behalf of the Bonnevaux community, we would be honored and strengthened here if you would bless Bonnevaux as the international home of the World Community for Christian Meditation and a center of peace as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of this community.
Certainly, I always feel our Christian brothers, sisters, a special connection. So certainly, I pray those Christian brothers, sisters who really practice the message of God, loving compassion, and forgiveness, these things. So the essential part of message is all this religion same. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay.
Your Holiness, thank you. And your blessing is a great strength to us as we open our center to the world. And we ask you to keep us in your prayer, in your heart, because we also always keep you in our heart. And we pray for your health, for so that your smile may continue to illuminate the world and teach us warm-heartedness. And I want to thank you personally for how much you have taught me and shared with me over the years of our friendship, and to thank you for that with a very warm heart.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Holiness. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you again.
See you soon, I hope.